Brother, let me tell you a story. I'm in the middle of Amsterdam Square with some killers. I'm waiting on Papa to stab them like 60,000 times, bro, and I have the knife myself. I'm ashamed to tell you this, bro. I take off all my jewelry. I'm in the damn square with Penko, and I'm gonna show Penko that he needs to put respect on his name. My brother, this is stupid what I'm telling you, but believe me to God, if Papa shows up here, you will hear the news and someone will be here to make the video. My brother, I'm not lying when I tell you this. I'm waiting on Papa to fix him. Good. And I'm waiting if he shows, brother, you will hear the news. I make no joke. And I would never send you a voice note like this for no reason. I'm not here to make a comedy show, bro, or a movie, but I'm here to start a real live show. Bro, believe me, this nigga let me work this stage and don't pay me, bro. And he's talking tough. I'm waiting on him. Bro, if he shows, you will know.
Jah Cure from prison to stardom and back again. The reggae recording international superstar was recently convicted on a charge of attempted manslaughter and has now been sentenced to 6 years behind bars after serving time in his home country for a very serious offense some years ago. This is how he got his stardom. He went from prison to stardom and back again. Hi again and welcome. This is the Links 007 TV Let's Talk, and we're about to discuss this on the program. If it's the first time you're watching, please remember to do the golden rule. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell and click on all so you're always updated with our latest report. We'll be right back after this short break with the full details to come. Welcome back and thanks for joining us for the program. This is Links 007 TV. Let's talk. So what we want to talk about today on the program is the reggae international superstar Jah Cure and his recent conviction that has landed him behind bars for 6 more years of his lifetime after spending a number of years in his home country for a serious offense as well that was committed some years ago. But before we actually get into the full details of what we want to discuss, let me just bring you back to where Jah Cure is coming from to where he's at. So if one can recall, Jah Cure would have spent a number of years behind bars in Jamaica, and this incident would have taken place back in November 1998 while he was driving around Montego Bay. So Jah Cure was pulled over by the police and arrested on a charge of gun possession, robbery, and actually rape. He was prosecuted before the gun court in April 1999 and was found guilty and sentenced to 15 years of his life. However, due to good behavior, Jah Cure, I believe, served 9 years out of that 15-year sentence. And during his incarceration process, Jah Cure rose to stardom from behind bars. So once it was time for him to be released, he was released on the stage and became a household name not only in his home country of Jamaica but also for the world to see. So what I believe happened to Jah Cure did not get that time to reflect on his life. And I can tell you this right now, mental health is a real serious problem, and many people try to shove it under the carpet and pretend as if it's not there. But one can recall there have been many instances where Jah Cure in a lot of social media controversy in recent times, and some have spilled over online to the result where people started to focus on this artist in a different light. Recently, his former wife did an interview and she shared some real chilling information, even though she did not go in depth to provide as much details as many people would have wanted to. However, his wife gave her side of the story after the two separated after just being married for a short period of time. Now, when we look on what transpired to Jah Cure over here in the Netherlands, it's a very unfortunate situation. And the voice note that was played at the initial start of the video just goes to show you how determined he was, and this actually cemented the prosecution case because they had a witness statement, they also had CCTV footage, and actually this voice note that recently made rounds online as well in order to prosecute the Reggae International superstar. But before I get into the actual details of this, if what Jah Cure is actually stating is true, the promoters of these big international shows need to pay up their money before these artists actually perform for them. If they falter on the performance, then their money will be returned to them. I believe that something needs to come into play in order for this to materialize in the way it should. Because most of the time you hear artists, you hear other people in the music business making allegations about these similar offenses that have been committed, where artists perform, you have DJ performing, and they're not being compensated or compensated properly or based on the agreement that was initially made with the promoter of the event. Not saying that what Jah Cure did justify what happened in the initial stage or prior to what happened now. However, these are some real serious issues as well that needs to be dealt with, and Jah Cure kind of got overwhelmed with the whole situation and let the situation got the better of him in this case. However, one have to think about Jah Cure right now and see that Jah Cure is actually in a dark place right now. I think Jah Cure needs some real help, and even upon his release right now, if one don't look into the life of Jah Cure and try to steer him on that path, I believe that he will land himself back into more trouble, because while he was incarcerated, no one knew what actually transpired behind those prison walls with him. He could have been psychologically damaged based on how we have seen videos of him reacting out there when he came out of prison. And one have to keep that in mind. He could have even had some psychological problem even before he went in, and now he's back in again. So we can't quick to judge what is going on with Jah Cure, and many people have stated this, that this recording artist, he needs some real help, and help in order to steer him on that positive path, because he's a very good recording artist. However, he's letting his ego and that level of thinking get the better of him, especially with what transpired here, as it seemed as if this was a premeditated attack on this individual who goes by the name Papa. So one of the lawyers who is representing the reggae artist Jah Cure during his recent trial in Amsterdam has described the ordeal that has landed the reggae singer behind bars once more as being stressful and emotional. So the unconditional love singer was recently sentenced to 6 years behind bars in Amsterdam prison after being found guilty of attempted manslaughter. So we have actually received word that Jah Cure is actually planning to appeal a conviction, but with all the evidence that were presented in court and how these were so compelling, we're not sure how that will go with the prosecution, and also how the conviction would go based on that revelation that was made in court, and actually this voice note that circulated online, and this was actually one of the evidence that was used against him to state that they actually was premeditated, and this was actually what put the icing on the cake, along with CCTV footage of the act taking place. So Jah Cure, whose real name is Signature Alclock, was facing an attempted murder, attempted manslaughter, aggravated assault, or attempted aggravated assault in relation to a stabbing involving a promoter whose name is Ricardo Papa Blake on October the 1st at Dam Square in Amsterdam. So the court found Jah Cure not guilty of attempted murder in his claim of self-defense was rejected by the court. So that was actually what happened there. So Jah Cure was invited to Amsterdam to perform at a concert which was promoted by Blake Jah Cure told the court that he stabbed Blake in self-defense, a submission that was rejected by the court. The entertainer, who spent close to 9 years in prison in Jamaica for a rape charge, is being held at an undisclosed detention center outside of Amsterdam since October 2021. So Jah Cure has been incarcerated since October of last year and will remain behind bars for another 6 more years based on the conviction that was recently made against him. So one have to imagine and think about what happened here. And this is a very unfortunate situation should that have occurred to the reggae recording artist. But it's also an eye-opener for many out there, for them to come to the realization in order to manipulate the situation in such a way that they themselves can see that resorting to violence in certain situations doesn't pay, especially when you're outside of your home country. It does not pay. And this situation that happened to Jah Cure could have been dealt with in a more amicable manner, and now he has landed himself in serious problems with the law and will be locked away for 6 more years. However, all I can say is that Jah Cure needs some real help, and if people around him can't seem to figure that out, they need to, at this point in time, based on what has happened here in this situation, they need to seek some help for this reggae artist. And I must say that he is a very good reggae artist. He has done a number of songs that I can tell you they are so well put together. And it's very sad to see that he has landed himself in this problem once more with the law. However, what can I say? What is done is done. And I hope as well that this gives him the time to reflect on his life outside of the public light in order to come to the realization that he really needs some help. This is where I believe I'm going to leave this though. Thanks for watching. This has been Links 007 TV. Let's talk. Peace out and have a blessed and productive day from the Links TV family.